So what was the most impressive thing to you about this video, which the world has not seen yet?
It makes no sense. It is just the most bizarre. Everyone across the intelligence community trying to figure out what this thing is.
Pilots keep reporting the same thing. Silent, metallic orbs, perfect spheres with no wings, no rotors, no exhaust.
There's no wings. There's seemingly no place for anyone to sit on. It's just a bizarre shape.
Gliding over U.S. bases before vanishing at impossible speeds. The Pentagon has the footage, the radar data, even thermal scans showing movement that defies gravity itself.
What?
Like a silver orb.
Didn't you see it? It was like some little quick flash there.
They don't emit heat, they don't make sound, and they seem to know exactly where our defenses are.
This alien technology is surveilling humans and is targeting aircraft.
If nothing we know of can do this, then who or what built them?
When I first saw it, I thought that this was a U.S.-made. It was only later to find out that that wasn't the case. We're looking at something, scarcely bigger than a basketball that's doing this.
A rumor turned fact. The existence of aliens, UFOs, and strange alien artifacts has always been a point of interest for humanity. And for decades, this interest has sparked controversy. There are thousands of UFO sighting claims from around the globe every single year. And almost all the time, these claims are either unfounded or easily explained. The governments and official scientific communities tend to keep their distance from such theories to avoid the stigma. But is that really the case? Secretly, even the biggest agencies have been quietly investigating such phenomena. But they aren't doing it out of curiosity. Rather, their hand has been forced out of necessity. Because in recent years, America has been under a new kind of threat. Metal orbs have been seen stalking military bases around the country. And according to experts, these things may not be human-made.
These unidentified aerial phenomena have been reported for many years without explanation or deep examination by the government.
So, what are they really? To find out, we must go back a few decades. You see, there have been rumors since the 90s that the Pentagon, the CIA, and the military may be involved in a cover-up. Conspiracy theorists claimed they had seen leaked videos that clearly showed unidentified objects caught on camera by military aircraft. And all those sightings have been buried, never allowed to be shown to the public to avoid panic and fear. Still, there was never any evidence to support this theory of a government cover-up. And for decades, those rumors were treated as just that, rumors. But all that changed when a disgruntled employee at the Pentagon leaked some terrifying information. Christopher Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence, is an ardent supporter of government transparency. So when he saw the government had been keeping UAP sightings a secret, he couldn't just ignore it. He had to do something to make the public aware of this conspiracy among the agencies they had placed their trust in.
There is no indication of aliens or extraterrestrial activity with these recent takedowns.
So, in 2017, he leaked some of the videos that the Pentagon never wanted the public to know about. Named the FLIR and GIMBAL, these two videos became the center of public attention when they were published by the New York Times.
Dude, this is a fucking drone, bro.
Around the same time, the Washington Post also published a similar video titled GOFAST, and that served to strengthen the argument that the government had been hiding something important from us. These three videos combined would change the public's outlook on UAPs and UFOs forever. Because what they showed wasn't just terrifying, it was also irrefutable evidence the UFO theorists have been waiting for. Let's take a close look at each one, and you will realize why these videos in particular have turned even the most ardent skeptics of UAPs into firm believers. the FLIR. The flicker video doesn't look like much when you first watch it. It's just a dot on the screen that zooms in and out of view, changing shapes as the perspective shifts. But once you know what's really going on here, you will realize how strange this footage really is.
So what could it be? Well, the short answer is we don't know.
Back in 2004, the USS Princeton, a cruiser in commission of the U.S. Navy, was sailing off the coast of California. And that's when its sensitive radar and tracking sensors picked up something strange. An object was moving erratically in the nearby airspace.
It's not some crazy person with their cell phone on Instagram, right? This is a $15 billion aircraft carrier with its radar systems, everything state-of-the-art. What is that?
Its movement was far too unpredictable and sudden for it to be a conventional aircraft or jet. Not only that, but the USS Princeton did not have any record of U.S. or foreign aircraft present in the region where the object was detected. Naturally, the ship's command became extremely suspicious. They thought it could be an enemy plane or jet infringing on the U.S. airspace. So they began tracking it diligently. For 2 weeks, they kept an eye on every movement this unknown object made, using the powerful thermal and radar technology on board, never letting it out of sight. Not only that, but they tried to intercept it using jets of their own. But no matter what they did, the jets couldn't find it. That is, until the 14th of November. Fighter pilot Commander David Fravor of the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group was informed of the intruder, and he took to the skies in his jet to investigate. Little did he know he would see something so unbelievable that no one would have believed him had it not been for the video evidence. As he approached the target, he spotted a 40-foot-long oval-shaped object.
Noticing these really anomalous tracks, unlike nothing I'd ever seen before.
That was white in color. It looked like a Tic Tac, only way larger.
Object looked featureless, and that's why I called it the Tic Tac. It looked like a Tic Tac. It had no wings, no method of propulsion.
The surface appeared smooth, with no means of propulsion visible. That means no thrusters or engines jutting out of the strange craft. Immediately, that seemed suspicious. Neither the highly experienced pilots witnessing it all firsthand, nor the people who have reviewed the footage since over and over again, have been able to figure out how this thing was flying. And what's even stranger was how it was moving. When it was first sighted, the object was flying about 80,000 feet high above the sea. But in just a matter of seconds, Commander David Fravor witnessed the object dive down at an extreme speed.
We don't have this capability of dropping 80,000 feet within a matter of seconds.
It came to rest, hovering 20,000 feet above the ocean. Fravor decided to give chase, spiraling down to get closer to the object so he could monitor it. But as he descended, the object seemed to realize it was being chased. It began ascending at a similar trajectory to Fravor's jet.
Sort of spiraling down?
Yep. The Tic Tac's still pointing north-south. It goes and just turns abruptly and starts mirroring me. So as I'm coming down, it starts coming up.
So it's mimicking your moves?
Yeah, it was aware we were there.
Until eventually, he couldn't see it anymore. Fravor wasn't the only person to see this all go down. There were his weapons systems officers in the back of the jet, and another jet accompanying them with 2 people on board. And all of them saw the same thing. An unidentified aircraft of unknown origins that was moving at speeds no other aircraft in the world could match at the time. While all this was happening, Lieutenant Commander Chad Underwood arrived with a second wave of fighter jets to intercept the unknown object. Unable to catch up to it, they recorded it using advanced infrared cameras. According to Chad Underwood, I was more concerned with tracking it, making sure that the videotape was on so that I could bring something back to the ship, so that the intel folks could dissect whatever it is that I captured. Despite them capturing over a minute of footage of the unknown craft, no expert, could make sense of it. How was this thing flying? How could it change directions so fast? And how was it able to achieve speeds that even the most advanced jets couldn't? The Pentagon couldn't find the answers to these burning questions. But to make things worse, even more similar sightings came in not long after. Gimbal and go fast. Between 2014 and 2015, the USS Theodore Roosevelt was operating on the east coast of the United States. Fighter jets were being deployed from the carrier to conduct missions and practice flights nearly every day. And during this time frame, the pilots were experiencing strange anomalies. The sensors on their aircraft were picking up targets when there were no other jets or planes around. And every so often, they would catch a glimpse of these mysterious objects. The pilots described these objects as indescribable, and the data from the sensors and instruments also did not provide any further clarity. These things did not resemble any made aircraft, weather balloon, or even wildlife. And they did not encounter one or two. Coming across these objects had become a common occurrence for these fighter jets. The Pentagon has released the video footage of only two, and what these videos show is mind-blowing. The first one, named Gimbal, shows an object flying across the sky shaped similar to a saucer. It moves in one direction for a while until suddenly it rotates mid-air. It then rotates again, and the video ends there. But unlike the FLIR footage, the gimbal video has audio.
If you listen to the actual video, you can hear the pilots trying to discuss what it is.
That's not LNS though, is it? It's not LNS.
And what we hear the pilots talk about is even more fascinating. The pilot mentions that there is a whole fleet of them. And this indicates that what we are seeing is only one of many. The pilots had encountered a bunch of these UAPs flying together, but the instruments had only been able to get an auto track on one of them. They initially think these are drones, but their movement, erratic turns, and high speed make that an unlikely theory. The pilots also note that the UAPs are going against the wind.
Dude, this is a fucking drone, bro.
The wind's 120 knots to the west. Look at that thing, dude. For such a small aircraft to go that fast against the wind without any visible means of propulsion is something that shouldn't even have been possible. Yet here it is, with the pilots bearing witness to the oddity. Their years of experience did not prepare them for something like this. The movement, the shape, the rotation, everything about this UAP screamed advanced tech. As I said, this wasn't an isolated incident. Between 2014 and 2015, these pilots came across tons of these UAPs. And the second video, named Go Fast, showcases a similar encounter. This time, the fighter jet pilot is trying his best to keep up with the UAP's speed, but it is way too fast. By the time he gets it into the camera's frame, it has already shot past it. After a while, the camera auto-locks onto the object, tracking its insane trajectory. When these three videos were leaked to the press, there were a lot of skeptics who called them fake. They accused Christopher Mellon of having forged the videos and named him a fearmonger. But, as it turned out, these videos were very much real. The Pentagon came out to clear up the matter itself. They released the original videos on their website, where they are available to download even today. But the real weird part came with another video released by the Pentagon. And this one is downright terrifying once you realize the full scale of it. Let's first take a look at the footage itself, taken from a military drone. The Middle East UAP. On April 19, 2023, the Pentagon released this footage taken by an MQ-9 drone. The drone seems to be recording a region in the Middle East, with the overlay information blurred out, and as it is scouting the area, it spots an object flying in the air. It looks like an orb with a metallic shine to it. No propellers, no jet engine, nothing that could be helping it fly. The metal orb flies past the drone, and the camera adjusts to track it. At first, the drone has some trouble finding the orb again, but eventually it does so. And from here, we can see the orb traveling quite a distance above the ground in one direction. never turning or changing altitude. There are a couple of things that make this encounter special. First of all is its distance. While other UAPs that we have looked at are far in the distance, this one was relatively close to the camera. And as such, it can be seen clearly. The perfect sphere leaves no doubt. It is not any kind of technology we know of. Since it is daytime, we can see its profile clearly, and there are no visible means of flight. So how is this thing airborne? Critics have only been able to come up with one explanation. They say that this object is, in reality, just a balloon flying in the air. And there are a couple of things wrong with that theory. First of all, the orb has a distinct metal appearance, which means it likely isn't a balloon. And secondly, the object is moving far too fast and consistently without any deviation from its path. It seems more like a maintained trajectory rather than being flung about in the air. The balloon theory is rejected by most experts. The evidence just isn't there. But then, what are we seeing? Well, even the top scientists are stumped. And it isn't just that we don't know enough about these UAPs. There is one more problem with this situation that has the Pentagon seriously concerned. As it turns out, this metallic orb was just the first. An alien invasion? In recent years, the U.S. military has been under what can only be called an alien invasion. According to the Pentagon and NASA, the frequency of metallic orb sightings has increased tenfold since the first sighting in the Middle East. To date, there have been over 400 of these sighted. And not by civilians either, rather by military personnel. And that is because these orb-like UAPs seem to target military bases instead of cities. They are often seen near military installations, even the ones whose location has been kept a secret. It is like these things, whatever they are, know what the purpose of these military bases is, and they are observing them closely to get a gauge of our fighting capabilities. And that isn't just speculation. There is a reason why experts think that is the case. You see, when experts put these 400 sightings side by side, they discovered some interesting patterns. Encounters with the orb UAPs are most common at night, between 1 and 4 a.m. That's the perfect time to conduct a scouting mission since the visibility is low and the chances of the UAP being seen up in the sky are minimal. Another common trait is that these metallic orbs don't stay long. Most first-person accounts claim the objects stay for a few minutes, hovering in the air, as if conducting scans or surveilling the area, before zooming off at an abnormally fast speed. Another interesting characteristic is that, according to those who have seen the orbs up close, these objects aren't actually solid. Rather, they are described as being made of liquid. According to one witness, I was walking into work when I looked up and saw two metallic liquid-like objects hovering for about 2 minutes. Could this liquid metal be a technology we have no understanding of? The movement noticed with these orbs by civilians certainly indicates that this is the case. According to another witness, I saw this kind of silver thing in the sky, but it was way too high to be a plane, and it kept on going higher and higher and higher until it actually kind of just vanished. Unlike planes and jets that take off at an angle, these orbs seem to be capable of moving vertically without any rotors or any other visible means of propulsion. And weirdly enough, these sightings haven't been evenly distributed across the different states. Most of them have been in New York, California, and Arizona. After all, New York is the densest state in the U.S., making it the epicenter of finance and the ideal place to observe human behavior. Both California and Arizona hold key military bases that are crucial to the United States military, including Luke Air Force Base and Yuma Proving Grounds. Those are some of the most crucial military installations for the U.S. Army. Is the presence of these anomalous objects in these places just a coincidence? Probably not. Whatever the purpose of these crafts is, they are appearing in places ideal for gathering information not only on our society, but also on our military capabilities. And that has the Pentagon seriously concerned. But what can they do about it? The answer so far has been nothing. Despite their advanced weapons and training, even these military bases have been unable to protect themselves. You see, no matter what the soldiers do, they have been unable to capture any of these UAPs. Whenever they get close, the object flies away. No aircraft can maneuver along the trajectory the orbs move, so capturing them in the air isn't possible either. That alone makes one thing perfectly clear. We are outclassed technologically. But should we be scared? At least the Pentagon is, for multiple reasons. For one, these objects have become a real threat to aircraft just by existing. They present a constant airborne hazard to the military bases, where military aircraft fly in and out regularly. If one of these strikes a jet or a plane, it could spell disaster. Millions of dollars worth of equipment gone in seconds. Not only that, but the Pentagon is more concerned about the why. Why are these things here? And the answer to that is far more complicated than you may think. It is important to note that these metallic orbs haven't been limited to the U.S. or the Middle East. They are appearing around the world in smaller numbers. There have been sightings in Puerto Rico, Colombia, and even in Mexico. And that tells us one thing. The purpose of these UAPs is global in scale and likely pertains to humanity as a whole. The concentration of America is likely because it is the country with the strongest military might. So that makes it the ideal place to study our most advanced weaponry. And that is corroborated by the fact that these UAPs are targeting military bases. These things are gathering information. And according to experts, they may not be actual aircraft at all. The small size of these objects indicates there probably isn't enough space inside for a life form to operate them. Rather, what we may be looking at are drones, remotely controlled or self-guiding scouts sent out to find out more about humanity. And that would make sense. They are more likely to use drones to minimize risk. At least that's what we humans would do. And that brings us to an alternative theory. What if these UAPs are in fact not alien, but foreign spy machines? Countries can get pretty creative when they want to spy on each other. The United States of America and the Soviet Union went to extreme lengths during the Cold War to gain intel on each other. So it wouldn't be surprising if a rival country like China or Russia developed a new kind of aircraft using advanced technology and kept it a secret. And they are using that tech to create drones and spy on U.S. military bases. All the while, the world thinks it's aliens. It would be a really smart way to spy if that is the case. Now, while there is tons of evidence that show these UAPs are a threat, there are still some who aren't convinced these sightings are even real. An error? There is a small minority of experts and skeptics who believe that the encounters have been blown out of proportion. According to them, what we are seeing are just humans mistaking birds, planes, and weather balloons for UAPs. And as for the videos that show the UAPs, those are simply because of errors with the equipment. They also made 3 more videos public back in 2023. 2 of those videos were of the same object seen in Southeast Asia. The first video shows the UAP zooming past the frame at a very fast speed. And when you look closely, it has a similar Tic Tac shape to that of the FLIR UAP. The second video shows the same object recorded from another jet. This time, the UAP is flying very far away, and the camera zooms in on it. When it succeeds, you can clearly see the orb-like shape of the UAP. It looks like it is glowing, with rays of light bursting forth from it. But later on, experts were able to figure out that what the footage showed was nothing more than a commuter aircraft in the distance. In the second video, they were able to identify the heat signature of the trail it was leaving behind, providing conclusive evidence that this was not a UAP. A similar thing happened with the third video Pentagon released in 2023. It showed several orbs flying in one direction, far away in the distance. The camera tracked them for quite a while, until the orbs disappeared behind the clouds. This was thought to be an encounter with UAPs, but when the experts tracked commercial flight data in the region and matched it with the time and location of the recording, they were able to prove that these shining orbs were nothing but commuter aircraft traveling their route. The shine from the sun made them look like orbs, when in reality, those were planes. The skeptics argue that since these footages have been proven conclusively to be just a trick of the eye or optical illusions, the rest of the supposed UAPs can also be explained away if we had enough data. The top experts at the Pentagon have tried their hardest to find an explanation for the LIR, gimbal, go fast, and the Middle East UAP. But after years, they haven't been able to find anything. And the metallic orb sightings have also been studied extensively. Even NASA has stepped in. They set up a UFO panel that is dedicated to studying and researching these strange UAPs appearing all over the world. They are experts who have been handpicked by NASA. And even they have concluded that these sightings are, in fact, of real UAPs. There is no ordinary explanation for these extraordinary objects popping up near military bases and population centers. So, unless NASA, the Pentagon, the United States government, and the hundreds of people who have seen these metallic orbs firsthand are mistaken, we can be sure that the sudden surge in UAP appearance is very much real. But now, let's hear from you. What are your thoughts on these sightings? Do you think it's aliens who are sending these objects, or a foreign country spying on us? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts.